And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, it's showtime!
You already know what it is. The champ is coming to Brooklyn, baby. Coming to Brooklyn. We back. And still. Saturday night. And still. The champ, baby. One time.
From the Big Faces Worldwide, it's your guy Big Will. And I'm back with this boxing talk. What's really good with your fam? Hey, listen, man, I'd like to thank you all for joining me tonight, man. I appreciate the support. I want to talk about Keith "One-Time" Thurman, who makes his return to the ring this Saturday, January 26th, at the Barclays Center after a 22-month layoff. You know what I'm saying? He will be defending his WBA welterweight Super WBA welterweight championship against Josesito Lopez. Now, Keith Thurman, this whole week, man, he's been on fire. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman is talking that talk, man, talking that talk like I want to hear him talk. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the big things that I was drawn to about Keith Thurman was that he talked that talk, man. I like to hear a fighter very confident, man, in his abilities. And Keith Thurman is definitely confident, man. And then when I see the kid could back it up in the ring, I was hooked. You know what I'm saying? I was hooked. And Keith Thurman became my favorite welterweight, man. I went to his last fight at the Barclays when he fought Danny Garcia. He won Danny Garcia's WBC title, became the unified welterweight champion. Since then, we all know the story, man. He's been hurt, man. He's been up and down. He's been out. He's been married. He's been playing the flute up in the mountains. And, you know, Keith Thurman has been busy doing a lot of things except boxing. You know what I'm saying? And he has taken a lot of criticism because of that, man. A lot of these, guys have been giving Keith Thurman a real hard time, man. A lot of people, they don't respect Keith Thurman because, a lot of people think his injuries is bogus. They think his time out of the ring is insensitive to the other welterweights who, are hungry for a title. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the argument don't have no validity to it, but, you got to understand, man, there's things that happen in life, man. Things that happen in life. And Keith Thurman's life was interrupted by a number of things. Keith Thurman was injured a few times. Keith Thurman got married, you know what I'm saying? And, me, myself, I'm going to give Keith Thurman a pass for being out, you know what I'm saying? I believe his injuries was real, you know what I'm saying? Do I think he could have made it back a little sooner? Probably, you know what I'm saying? Probably. But he got married in the process, man. Heard he was dealing with some visa issues trying to get his wife over here in the States, you know what I'm saying? And one thing for sure, two things for certain, and three things for real. No matter what profession none of us is in, man, family comes first, you know what I'm saying? And I believe he wanted to make sure that his wife and her family was good, man, and would be able to come over here and enjoy him, you know what I'm saying? But all that's in the past. All that's in the past, man. One-Time Thurman will be back in the ring, and the big question is, will it be the one-time of old? You know what I'm saying? The one-time who, got that devastating power, got that devastating movement, you know what I'm saying? Got that high, very high boxing IQ. Keith Thurman can do a little bit of it all, man, and we have seen it in the ring. And will he be the same after this layoff? You know what I'm saying? Some people saying that he won't. some people saying that the layoff might have done him good. It worked both ways in the past with other fighters. Floyd Mayweather, he took about a 2-year layoff and came back and fought. Although Marquez was smaller than him, Floyd looked superb in that fight, man. He looked it like, he didn't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? And that's the question. You know what I'm saying? That's the question that's going to get answered. Lopez is going to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Lopez has always been a very tough fighter, man. I always get much respect for Lopez. I always rooted for Lopez. If you've been following my channel, you know that Big Faces Worldwide, I am a rooter. I root for the underdog, man. I like to root for the underdog. I told you time and time again. I love the Rocky movie. I love the Rocky story, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Riverside Rocky is going up against my man, Keith Thurman. So, I can't root for the underdog this trip, man. When everybody else was talking bad about Keith Thurman, man, you know what I'm saying, I was holding fast, man, because I knew that, people go through things, man. Life interrupts us, man. Life comes into play in everything, in one time or another. We're all gonna, our life, everybody's life is going to be interrupted by something. You know what I'm saying? And it may take us a little bit of time to get back focused and to get back on point, and we may be the same or we may be better, and we'll see. We'll see if he's the old Keith Thurman, or we'll see if he's just coming back to get a payday. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But he's talking that talk. He's talking how I love to see him talk. Like when he, was at the press conference and Paulie Malignaggi was sitting in the audience and they was going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That hunger that was in his voice, that hunger that was in his eyes. You better not duck me, son. That Keith Thurman. I got an O and I ain't afraid to let it go. All that talk right there, man. That's the Keith Thurman that, I became a fan of, man. And every interview I seen, he's talking that talk. You know what I mean? He's talking that talk. His confidence seems to be back. I didn't realize Josesito Lopez, when they did, I know he had a coat on and everything. They had their clothes on, but when they did their press conference today, man, Josesito Lopez looked a little bigger than Thurman. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. He looked a little bigger than Thurman, man. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow at the weigh-in what they really look like. Who's really in shape. We know Josesito Lopez. He has been in with the best of them, man. You know what I'm saying? He has given the best of them the best of him. Josesito Lopez has never laid down, man. He's always giving his all. Win, lose, or draw, you can count on Lopez coming to fight. He ain't no chump. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no bum. So, despite what the odds are, I heard the odds are something like 16-1 or something like that. Look out for that one. You know what I'm saying? Josesito Lopez ain't no slouch, man. He's going to come to fight. He's been working with Robert Garcia, who is considered by many one of the best trainers in the game right now. He's been sharpening up a lot of skills, so they say, and they've been talking about this fight with Keith Thurman for some time now. You know what I'm saying? I did videos about it months ago when they were supposed to fight last summer, and then the fight supposed to come in November, then the fight, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole big story, but he has been on Keith Thurman's radar and vice versa for a while. So they have been studying for this fight and training for this fight for a while. They said it. You know what I'm saying? Him and Robert Garcia said it. They said they knew about this fight for a long time and been training for this fight for a long time. So, you know what I mean? I think the Lopez is going to be right in front of Keith Thurman. And, for a fighter like Thurman, that's what Thurman wants. That's what Thurman wants. Thurman likes to come out there. If you notice in all of his fights, man, he likes to start fast. because he wants you to feel his power. You know, he wants you to feel that power from the first round. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened with Danny Garcia, man. I was very surprised the way he jumped on Danny Garcia. But, you know, he talked about it. He said he wanted Danny Garcia to feel his power from the door. And it worked, because those middle rounds were boring, because Danny Garcia didn't want to take too many chances, because he felt that power in them early rounds, the way Keith Thurman jumped all on him. And I do think Keith Thurman's going to jump right on Josesito Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants him to feel his power. He's always relied on his power, because his power always works for him. Whether he get a knockout or not, he's going to get the opponent's respect. You know what I'm saying? And once he gets his respect, then, you know what I mean, he can kind of dictate, you know, what he wants to do, man. And I think Keith Thurman, you know, he knows how to put it together. But Josesito Lopez got the perfect style for Thurman's get back. You know what I'm saying? When I say perfect style, that means, you know what I'm saying, he's not going to be running around. He's going to be right there to fight. You know, one thing about him, he's always coming to fight, you know. So Thurman wants him to be right there so he can hit him. Now, the thing is his pressure going to be too much for Keith Thurman, who's been out of the ring for 22 months? You know what I'm saying? That's the big question. You know, will Keith try to get some of the ring rust off? You know what I'm saying? Or will he try to have a spectacular performance and get him out of there, man? There's all these questions that we're going to get answered Saturday night, man. And one thing I want to talk about also is the job that PBC and the Fox is doing, man. I think they're doing a tremendous job. I just watched the press conference on FS1, and you know, the whole setup was amazing to see boxing broadcast the way they're doing, man. They're in the studio with I forget the young lady's name, but her Boom Boom Mancini, and they had Danny Garcia, you know, in the studio also. And you know, they was in the Fox Studios in L.A. They was going back and forth between the Barclays Center and the studio. You know what I mean? It's just the whole setup looked real professional. Kind of like some, you know, like ESPN or the NFL Network would do for their related sports, man. This is what they're doing to boxing. And I think it's brilliant, man. They got the PBC Countdown. They got the PBC Face to Face. And they got the, now we getting the press conferences, man. I think what they're doing to the sport of boxing is great, man. I got dudes at work, you know what I'm saying? They're talking to me about boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never talked to me this much about boxing. Like, they'll ask about, you know, maybe some big fights or something like that, man. But, you know, now, you know what I mean, they're asking about these fighters that they're seeing on, you know, Fox and FS1, man. And, you know what I mean, it's a good thing for me to have to, you know, explain it to them and break it down to them, man. And, you know, help them to the channel, man. And now they're, you know what I mean, they be on the channel and asking me about fighters that I be talking about. And it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I think this is going to be great for boxing, man. But, you know, I'm anxious to see Keith Thurman in the ring, man. I'm anxious to see how he looks, man. If he's for real, you know what I'm saying, or if he's coming back, you know what I'm saying, just to get a check. But me, myself, personally, I think Keith Thurman is for real. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to see a very good Keith Thurman. I think he'll be a little rusty, maybe the first couple rounds. But I think by the 4th, 5th round, we'll see ONETIME show up. And I am looking for him to get Lopez out of there by the 8th round. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him 8 just because Keith Thurman, you know, has been out for a while. He might want to get the cobwebs off, you know what I'm saying? And Lopez ain't no joke, man. I'm not taking nothing away from Lopez. I really like him. I like his heart. Like I said, if he was fighting somebody else, I may be rooting for him, man. But when it's Keith Thurman, man, I don't think there ain't too many fighters who I'm going to go with against Keith Thurman, man. And that's just me. I got a bias, you know what I'm saying? So there it is, man. I got a bias, man. Keith Thurman is my welterweight guy, man. You know, but I still try to keep it fair. I'm still going to keep it honest. I'm still going to, you know, if he look like shit, I'm going to say he looked terrible. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it like I see it. But I'm expecting them to look pretty good. I'm not expecting them to look spectacular, but I'm expecting them to look pretty good. I'm expecting them to get the victory and move on to bigger and better things. Now, he's talked about this being a get-back year. You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know, he said he want to fight 2 times this year. Now, I'm not looking for him to fight, you know what I'm saying, with no disrespect to Lopez at all when I say this. I'm not looking for him to fight 2 guys on a level as Lopez this year. If he goes out there and gets a few rounds in, you know, 6, 7, 8 rounds in, and he feels good and he looks good, then I think he should, you know what I'm saying, look for some better competition. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he got to go after the top dogs, you know, Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, and you know, Sean Porter right away, but I am looking for him to get in there with some better competition, man, because, you know, he's been out 22 months already, man, and a whole nother year of really not fighting no top level competition is not fair to boxing. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair for these fighters who work their ass off every day and have that dream to be world champion. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he gets in there and do what he's got to do, man, and get the victory, man. And you know, we'll see what's next for him. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, I'm loving the support that I'm getting from you guys. Like I said, I'm new to this YouTube thing, man. I ain't been doing this long, man. Like I said, I've been consistently making videos for maybe about 5 months. You know what I'm saying? And the response has been very good. You know, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the audience, man. I appreciate you guys' comments. I love to bust it up with the guys in the comment section. We don't always agree, but I'm digging it, man. I love to talk boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep it going, man. Like I said, I appreciate you for tuning in. My name is Big Will. You have been watching Big Faces Worldwide. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, you can tap dance on that like button while you're here. And if you dislike the video, go ahead and hit the dislike button. But make sure you hit it twice. Until next time, peace. I'll holler back.